Hi folks, I'm Brian and I hope you're feeling creative. Today we're going to discuss how you can lay down your vocals onto your band in a box arrangement. There are various methods of doing this. We can record in band in a box itself. We could use a DAW, that's a digital audio workstation, or indeed we can use an outside or external recording device. Before we hop across to the interface, I just want to say thank you to all the subscribers that have joined me in the last 2 weeks since the channel started. And if you find these videos helpful, please help me out by hitting that subscribe button. Cheers guys, let's get to work. Welcome back to the Band in a Box interface. Let's get into it. So I've made a number of variations and tweaks to this song since you last heard me in my last episode. The song is called A Song You May Never Hear, and really I should call this episode A Song You May Never Hear Again. Anyway, that being said, I'm pretty happy with the mix and the work that I've done on the song, the little bits of tweaking, a nice ending, the way the instruments come in and out, the bar settings that I've done, the reverbs and the EQs that I've set. So let's have just a quick little listen to how she starts off. Okay, I mean it's far from perfect at this stage, but it's not bad at all. So let's say I want to record a vocal now. There's a number of different ways we can achieve this. Number one, we could use band in a box kind of like a DAW, and we can achieve that by clicking on a utility track, and just press the audio record button. That'll ask me a number of questions. What bar do I want to record from? I've just said bar 1 here, just for this demonstration's sake. And we can see the record levels over in the corner here. Now that does need tweaking if I was serious about recording my vocals in the song. But let's just go ahead and press the record button. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah! All right. Okay, so let's keep that take for now and let's have a listen to it. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right. All right. So as you can see, it did actually record, and if we have a look at that wave, you can see, yeah, it works just like a DAW would work in that way. You can now manipulate that wave. You can add various effects, reverbs, and panning. And while we're on the subject of those things, here in the plugins, let's have a look in there. If I double click on where it says none, because there's no plugins attached to this piece at this point, but I could go in there. I could use a compressor. I could use delays and reverbs, flanges, EQs, all sorts of things that Band in a Box comes with as standard. You can also add your own plugins in here. So it's a very powerful space, a very powerful tool to use. So, all right, well, we don't want to use this. So what I'm going to do is utility 2, track actions, erase track, and yep, erase that track, gone. We'll get it out of that view. All right, so that's one way that you could actually record a track. One of the downsides is that it's a bit clunky. You can't, as far as I'm aware, I haven't figured out how I could possibly feed that vocal line back to my headphones while I'm singing in order to give myself a lovely little bit of reverb and basically make the singer feel comfortable within the mix of the song. So if you're prepared to sing it down dry and then work on it afterwards, that's very doable. And because here in Band in a Box we have plenty of utility tracks to use, we could lay down as many vocals as the song requires without any issues whatsoever. So that is a very workable way to do it, but not ideal. So let's go to my next option here. This is a digital audio workspace. It's called Reaper, and to be totally honest with you guys, I only purchased it yesterday after trialing it for 3 days and learning some basics about it, because really I'm not very much of a DAW kind of guy. However, This is a very powerful DAW, and the price was really reasonable. It's a one-off payment of 66 American dollars right now while it's discounted. I'm in no way affiliated with them. I am not advertising them. Many of you would choose other DAWs, Studio One, Pro Tools, etc. Okay, so in order for me to get my Band in a Box tracks into Reaper, I'm going to press Effect and VST plugins, and the first plugin in the VST area is the Band in a Box plugin. So let's go ahead and click on that, and that opens the Band in a Box plugin. I could go ahead and resize that. Now what I need to do is import the song, File, Open, Band in a Box songs. Here we go, A Song You May Never Hear. Let's get that in to the plugin. Okay, come on. Here we go. The style you have selected is in a different time signature than the plugin host. Okay, so that's easily fixed. And it shows the chords that I've got there. And I'll press Send to Reaper. All tracks, destination, blah, 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 blah. And it's still not going to send it. Why not? It's because it needs to be regenerated. Now, if I regenerate it by clicking the Generate button here, it's going to regenerate all my tracks, any lead break that I've worked on, any instruments that I've really honed and fine-tuned. It's going to change all of that. I'm going to lose all the work that I did. I'm also going to lose all of the mixing that I did. It's just going to throw them all into there. And it's going to lose a lot of the work that I did. This is a really great option for moving tracks to Reaper if you start your song building in Reaper and then utilize Band in a Box as sort of an instrument storehouse of musicians that can come and play, studio musicians, session musos basically, that you can then bring them across and manipulate that. But because most of my work has already been done in Band in a Box, I certainly don't want to lose that, so I'm not going to use the plugin today. Let's get rid of that. There is another option, however, to get the tracks that I want into Reaper, and that is go back to Band in a Box. Let's download. Here, if we go to Wave, you'll see that it comes up with two options. Export song as audio file, and basically puts out your song in like a folder of each individual track that you've recorded, and you can then move those across to Reaper and you'll have what you need. This other option here is if you want to export just a stereo wave of your mix from Band in a Box, which you could also do if you're really happy with your mix. It's not going to make for great levels of adjustment afterwards. So I would highly recommend that you export song as audio file and take all of your files basically one at a time and throw them into Reaper. I've already done that, so let's get out of Band in a Box and go back to Reaper. I'm going to open a new project in Reaper. Do I want to save this? No, I don't. So let's open a project that I have already done, A Song You May Never Hear. There she goes. So I did that through the technique I just discussed with you by downloading the tracks and then importing them into Reaper, basically one at a time. It just took a couple of minutes to get it all done, and very nice. And as you can see here, I've already got two tracks ready, one for my main vocal and one for my harmony vocal. I can go ahead, arm those tracks, and then start to sing. So I could put my vocal down. Now that's doubling my voice here on OBS. So for now I'm not going to do that, But it's as easy as pressing record and then record down here, and I'll be playing away. I can also add reverbs, make myself feel really comfortable, and put down a high quality recording here. There's only one problem for me with that, and this is a personal personal issue that I have. I really dislike recording vocals with using a screen and a mouse and looking at waves on a screen. To me, it feels disposable. It feels, I'm just an old school kind of guy. I love to have a play button, a stop button, a rewind button, and a forward button. To me, that's really tactile, and when I get a take that I like, it just feels more precious to me. Oftentimes, I stop and start a recording vocal line so many times that to have that pressing of buttons rather than the sweeping of the mouse across the screen, selecting areas, clicking on various points of the screen, I just find it, for me, much more enjoyable to use a physical device. So that's the third option for me, is to go back to Band in a Box. Again, come up to Wave and export the song as a wave. So export it as a stereo wave and then import that stereo wave onto my Zoom R8, which is an 8-track digital recorder. That'll take up 2 tracks, a stereo field in my Zoom R8, leaving me 6 tracks to record my vocals. Once those vocals are done, I can then export my vocal out of the Zoom R8 back into Reaper and build it that way. Or if I'm really happy with the vocal and I don't run out of tracks, I can continue on with the R8. If I'm unhappy with the level of a guitar or a piano or the panning of something, it's so simple just to come back into Band in a Box, fix it up, come back here to the wave, export it once again and replace it on my 8-track. It feels like I have unlimited tracks on my 8-track because of that technique. Now, the purists will roll their eyes at this whole idea, but and I can understand why. The best case scenario is that you're going to send off your tracks to a professional to have them mix it and master it. They want to receive all of these tracks centered, dry, with no EQ on them, so that they have the most wide open field to play with when they're creating your mix and when they're mastering your track. However, when you're doing these things solo in your own home, you need to work with what works for you. And for me personally, I'll always choose an external recording device to do my vocals on. Whether I then bring it back to the computer for further work, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Well, there you have it, folks. 3 different ways that you can record your vocals onto your Band in a Box arrangement to get a finished song. I am definitely going to use my Zoom R8 recorder. It is my preferred method for this particular song, the way that I've built it. I will put a link below for anybody that wants to listen to the completed song, once it's completed, of course, and you can check it out for yourself. Thanks again for joining me today. See you on the next episode, and bye for now.